Grand Rising, dear family. Shalom to every melanated God angel, Orisha Diva Pharaoh in existence. I am our soul's first lieutenant, Just Love Energy's first lieutenant, God's first lieutenant, and I have Just Love for you to follow. This video is going to be titled The Spiritually Armed Soul Forces Parable. The Spiritually Armed Soul Forces Parable. This is essentially going to be a brainstorm video. Nothing scripted or structured or pieced together quite just yet. It's like the piecing together of a more larger piece together. And I just need to say a few things out loud and record them and post them on the internet to ruin the oppressor's psyche. Moving forward. Brainstorm video, that's all this is. So what is it going to consist of? I'm just going to be talking out some ideas that I have for my Soul King military entrenchment. The Soul King's military entrenchment. Just some ideas I'm tossing out. What is this whole Soul King military entrenchment? What is this idea here? It consists of structuring my own personal army of ideas. My personal army of ideas, or my personal military corporation of ideas, using the United States military's enlisted ranks, or enlisted personnel ranks, to structure the ideas I have, as well as the warrant officer ranks, and as well as the officer ranks, or the senior non-commissioned officer ranks tier. It's going to involve certain ideas that I've come up with since I've been talking, including some of the videos from TikTok that I had that before it got shut down, some ideas from all the ideas from the games I've been playing thus far, the Christ Logic, the Negative Spirit Exodus Blueprint, or the Super Jesus, or the Cosmic Jesus, the Free Yeshua, and the Established Yeshua, and things of that nature. Things of that nature. It's going to be a combination of all the ideas that I came up with. And they're going to be ideas that are like soldiers, you follow what I'm saying? And what these soldiers are going to do is lay waste to the internal city plaguing thy mind heart spaces currently. You follow what I'm saying? So ultimately, this is going to be what I take worldwide and continue telling to all the people, because once you become aware of my army and why I'm creating it, or once you become aware of why the army is going to be the way it is and why it's going to be the way it is, it's going to set your psyche on fire, essentially. You follow what I'm saying? And when I say set your psyches on fire, I am referring to your fake psyches, the ones driving you all to do the wrong thing when you should all be doing the right thing. It's never the wrong time to do the right thing. It's always the right time to do the right thing. Martin Luther King Jr. So, brainstorm a little bit more. I'm going to be using all 6 of the U.S. military's enlisted ranks. I'm going to be using their warrant officer ranks and their officer ranks to label and describe these here ideas I have in the spirit that'll help lay waste to the spiritual city, plagiarizing our mind heart spaces. It's just a parable. It's essentially it's a way to talk about restraining and or removing something that's a problem here. That's what it is. It's mental works, it's spiritual works, it's soul works, it's inner works. You follow what I'm saying? Inner works that will eventually bring your vision to the outer world, in which will help you realize how this entire planet in which we are on is our conscious mind, or it is, should we say, a place currently holding our conscious minds. You follow what I'm saying? And or a place in which our conscious minds are I want to say stationed in at the current moment in time. Because if we go on any planet at all, it'll become our conscious mind. Or if we are in space, according to the logic that I'm studying here, of course, you may see it the wrong way, or you may not see it as how I do, but according to the way the logic is set up, this entire planet is our conscious, and any planet that we get on will become our conscious, or anywhere that we are in this universe is of our conscious minds. So that means even if we leave the planet and go into the stars, if possible, meaning if we someday gain soul liberation, gain the freedom to travel to stars and things of that nature, even if we travel to stars, we'll still be within our conscious mind space. Meaning we'll still be in our mind's brain space. Mind, non-physical, what affects you. Brain, physical, what affects you. Everywhere in this entire cosmos is our conscious mind. So, these spiritually armed soul forces that I have came up with, these ideas whatsoever, this reawakening, reincarnation, resurrection, renewal, all of that is going to be combined into this here Soul Military entrenchment, Soul King's military, all the ideas thereof. It's just the culmination of every idea that I've ever come up with, structured and or placed in order using the Soul King or using the U.S. military as a way to tell the parable. You follow what I'm saying? Kind of like how I use Soul Football, or kind of like how I used the Spiritual Duel, or kind of like how I used, what other parables did I come up with? So far, it's just, I use wrestling as well, and boxing. Spiritual Olympics. It's like a spiritual Olympics idea. You follow what I'm saying? But now it's an army, a military. You follow me? It's going to do the same thing. Lay waste to what's plagiarizing thy mind space. Lay waste to what's plagiarizing thy heart space. Lay waste to what's plagiarizing thy psyche. It's going to do the same thing. The goal never changes for me, because there's only one thing, honestly, to do in this reality that we are in. Get out of it. And I don't necessarily mean, well, I just said it, didn't I? Thing is, reality is, there is a fake world built on top of our natural world, meaning there's a fake reality built on top of our natural reality. You follow what I'm saying? And the thing is, we need to get out of the fake reality built on top of our natural reality. But in order to do this, we need to destroy the fake reality somehow. So I propose we first sick an army on this here fake reality city and destroy it that way. As within, so throughout. And once the city internally is destroyed, the city externally would be destroyed, or the fake reality internally being destroyed, because that's what this is. I'm destroying a fake reality inside thy mind, heart, space, psyche. I am destroying a fake reality inside thy mind, heart, space, psyche, in which is essentially the foul entrenchment thereof. That's what these ideas are going to be used for. Once I culminate them together and piece them together and get them to the world the right way. You follow what I'm saying? Boy, wait till I fix everything, man. Moving forward. So, plagiarizing that mind, heart space, fake city, fake reality. There's a fake world built on top of our natural world. There's a fake reality built on top of our natural reality. And in the spirit here, this here Soul King military entrenchment, or these spiritually armed soul forces parable, they're going to destroy the entire fake reality. And as within, so throughout. And once the fake reality is destroyed internally, the fake reality will be destroyed externally. So, what's some details? The U.S. military, they have 6 branches. They have, first, the Army. The Army came first, 1775. Then after the Army came the Navy. And then there, or if you want to look at the history with George Washington and things of that nature, and the wars in which he fought, and the battlegrounds and things of that nature, if I can remember some of the names of them. It was before World War I. It was like they were just calling it the war of this or the war of that. You follow what I'm saying? Have to retain it though. Haven't fully retained it yet. I'm still working on a lot of details. Actually, the entire Soul King military entrenchment that I've come up with so far is about to get a whole new revamp. First the Army, then the Navy. Third is the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps is the third oldest outfit branch of this here U.S. military. And then you have fourth, the Air Force, or was it fourth Coast Guard that was the youngest. They said that the Air Force is the second youngest. So that means it must be the Coast Guard first, then the Air Force, and then finally the Space Force. That's the one that just came out in 2019. The one with Donald Trump. When I actually had some things together too, just throwing it out there. But moving forward. Yeah, but those are the 6 branches that I'm going to be using the enlisted ranks of, the warrant officer ranks of, and the officer ranks of, to label and describe my spiritually armed soul forces in more categorized detail. I'm just going to use it. Why? Also, too, to bring you awareness of your military force. Remember, the first goal is to unite every melanated man, woman, and child within the United States of America to become one logical soul tribe again, proving God's innocence. That's the first goal there. So, I'm going to use this here. I'm going to use these 6 military branches to do so. I'm just going to use them. Because 9 times out of 10, where you get your ideas from to have your military force, you most likely got them from us, the melanated people. Random question. Why can't you people put the soul before the rank? Why do you have to put the rank before the soul? Why do I keep saying this? Simplify. Simplify. Like I said, this is a brainstorm video. Simplify. What do I mean by simplify? The Marine Corps motto. They say simplify. What does it mean? Semper Fidelis. Semper Fidelis. Semper Fidelis is Latin for always faithful. Always faithful. Faithful. Yeah, meaning remaining steadfast and loyal. Remaining steadfast and loyal. So remaining steadfast and loyal to what? What does this here Marine Corps remain steadfast and loyal to in real life? What does it remain loyal to? See, I've come up with this soul Marine Corps parable, or spiritual Marine Corps parable. Corporation, become one body. Latin origin as well. I'm going to be using a lot of Latin origins I see now. Why is that? I wonder why so many words in their origin are Latin. Why is that? Moving forward. So, Latin origin for the Marine Corps motto is always faithful, but always faithful to what? Always faithful to this cause, to this agenda, obviously, right? You're always faithful to the cause or the agenda of the world. You put the soul, you put the rank before the soul, though. You put the rank before the soul. I have a spiritual Marine Corps army that's going to go against the Marine Corps Army, the United States Marine Corps Army. But remember, the spirit soul just loves you and just loves you only and can't actually do anything else to you but love you. And I'm about to put this against you. Somehow. Watch how I do it though. It's just through the knowledge and awareness and giving you the chance to see what you are doing as you are doing things that you're doing. Remember, everything about this, whatever this thing is you're always faithful towards, only wants you to kill us all for no reason at all. Meaning you only exist to ensure everything in the world remains endlessly suffering and failing at everything for no reason at all. It's the only reason why you exist. And you're always loyal and always faithful and always steadfast to a system specifically designed to destroy the lives of people for shits and giggles. That's what you're always faithful to, Semper Fi. I laugh at your ranks. I laugh at all of it, honestly. I just want to use it for something right quick, though, still. Because my people need awareness of what you have over our lives currently. And it's all blended in. As I said, I'm against this government in every way possible. And I'm just going to convince you all to be against it. Which is another reason why I'm saying these words. Oh, I don't hate the people in the military. People. The idea was, or what we were told, at least by the people who were wise in the days of our lives, we lived them. You hate the game, not the player. Right? That's what they said. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate the player, hate the game. The people within the Marine Corps are players, but the game is the titles and the purpose for why they even exist. Why do the Marine Corps exist? There's a huge connection with George Washington, the first president, and there's a lot of stories going on. He became a 6-star general as well, general of the Army at one point. I mean, well, he was the first. And you know, whenever they're making their first attack, it's always the most blissful. But then later on, we realize why they were attacking in the first place. Because they always have such horrible outcomes. And why do they have such horrible outcomes? Because they feel like reality isn't fair when it's normal. Don't forget, godhood for us is normal. It's normality. But at any rate, so I may change up all the details though. Put my soul Marine Corps against the U.S. Marine Corps. Why do you want to kill the components of the spirit soul for shits and giggles? Why do you feel the need to do this? Who's pushing you to kill the components of the spirit soul for no reason at all? The spirit just loves you. Why do you keep killing what just loves you? Just wanted to ask that randomly. I'm going to put my soul Marine Corps against the U.S. Marine Corps. I'm going to put my soul Army against the U.S. Army. I'm going to put my soul Coast Guard against the U.S. Coast Guard. I'm going to put my spiritual Air Force or my soul Air Force against the U.S. Air Force and the Space Force and the other one. Why though? Subliminal enhancement. Subliminal enlightenment. Remember, in order for us to get out of this hell, every single person in it doing a thing within it all have to quit at the same time. No matter who you are, no matter what part of life you're in, no matter where you stand in this life, and no matter why you're standing where you're standing in this life. You are a part of this world. You have to be made fully aware of how it operates and all get ready to walk away from it and unite at the same time. Why? Because remember, the devil only has its influence into the world to within and throughout the people in it thereof. The people. It don't matter what you practice. It don't matter what part of the world you are in, whether it's the military world or the civilian world. It makes no difference. Or the leadership world. It makes no difference. You all have to be taught to quit at the same time, and or you all have to be encouraged to quit this at the same time. You all have to be encouraged to leave this government servitude simultaneously. Every single person on the planet does. I do not want this attention at all. I do not want this celebrity status, whatever, at all. Just want to get out of hell. It turns out the only way to get out of hell is to within and throughout the people, dropping the influence in which the devil is forcing them to believe they should be obeying. Walk away. Drop it, stop it, walk away. Drop it, stop it, walk away. Remember, the spirit just loves you. That's it. Nothing else. So you're going up against a force, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, Space Force, Army and Navy. You're going up against a force that just loves you. How do you expect to beat that? Why are you beating this? You want to know something crazy? The Marine Corps since 1775, as well as the Navy and the Army, all three of them were created in the same year. Or all three ideas were to spread their territorial dominance over the Native Americans, things of that nature. Breezed over the history. Haven't retained much, but I've seen it. I'm aware that it exists. I'm aware of all that you all have done since you've had these titles and this so-called respect that you have. I'm aware of it. You've been attacking just love energy. You've been attacking this just love energy since you started. Why? You're always faithful to destroying just love energy. You're always faithful to destroying just love energy. Why? Where are you getting the ideas from? The more I dig into this spiritually armed forces parable, making my ideas become more lethal and more militant-like, the more is uncovered to me as to why. You're just puppets. Think about the word sergeant. Think about that word, Sarge, ant, ant, Sarge, ant. You're all liars and killers in a service of liars and killers. You are ants to a boot. Ancient, evil, dark, and wicked. All of you are. And you love it. You enjoy it. Can't go a single day without it. Claim this is what you need to do to feed your children when it isn't. You were just led to believe it's what you have to do to feed your children. I have no sympathy for you at all. Zero. I got this empathy, though. And empathy is simply understanding why you do what you do. And it's simply because, well, you enjoy being evil. Before I drift off my topic too much, here's the gist of my idea thus far. So, I have a spiritual army right now. I'm going to change it up though. I'm going to change up everything I've said thus far, even though it's brand new. I still haven't locked it in at all. You follow me? I learned the ranks, virtually all of the ranks. In the Coast Guard, there are a lot of similar ranks to the ranks of the Air Force, as well as petty officer, chief petty officer of the Coast Guard, master chief petty officer of, what was it, the Navy? I don't think the Space Force had a petty officer. Because they have officer ranks, like the officer ranks of the Army and the Marines and the Air Force. They have a lot of similar titles like sergeants and whatnot. You follow what I'm saying? They don't have the exact same titles, but they do. They have enlisted ranks. They have E1 through 9. They have warrant officer ranks. They have warrant officer 1 to 5, and then they have the officer ranks, which is O1 to O10. You follow what I'm saying? And each of these branches, all 6 branches, have an enlisted rank, a warrant officer rank, and an officer rank. And I'm going to be using all of them to structure the ideas I have for my spiritually armed soul forces parable. That's essentially what I'm getting at here. So that means, and so far right now, currently what I have before I make the next big change up to everything that I've done so far, even with all the videos, I'm gonna leave them all up though, so you can see, you know, where I started at and, you know, how I'm going with it or how it's gonna land eventually. So right now, currently, I have the spiritual Air Force as the reawakening, so to speak. And the reawakening portion of the parable is essentially going to destroy the city internally, or bring you awareness to how we could destroy the city. Because let's not forget, it's all spiritual. That means I'm not doing anything physical to you at all, nor am I doing anything at all, but just putting an idea out here into the air. You follow what I'm saying? But right now, currently, the spiritual Air Force was supposed to be the reawakening, BKA the destruction of the city. Reawakening to it so we can realize what to do to it. And then next came the Army after the Air Force as the sweep. Once we destroyed the city and realized what it was, the army parable is going to turn all the things giving it power, or essentially flush them out and reverse them back to what they are truly, meaning the one plane of just love energy, in which your courage derives from, your satisfactions derives from, your soul pride derives from, and as well as your tranquil mindset derives from. You follow what I'm saying? In other words, the opposite of all of the foul principality sins, all 9 foul principality sins, are one thing in the spirit. The just love foundational energy in which it is, before the negative foul principalities got in and just created a city. You follow what I'm saying? I have the Air Force destroying the city that those principalities built, and then I have the army going in to push them out. But then I have the Marine Corps parable, the Soul Marine Corps parable, which is going to subjugate them once they are out of us and into the open for us to do so. You follow what I'm saying? The Marine Corps parable plays an important role in this entire story. Story time. I was actually going to be a Marine. I was looking to join back in 2012. They turned me away. I don't know why. I tried to join the Marine Corps 3 times in this here one lifetime. Even before I got in trouble, so to speak. I reveal that to the world. I don't care. Before I got in trouble, I tried to join the Marine Corps 2 times, and 1 time after the trouble, as well as the Army. All turned me away. Why? Why did the Marine Corps turn me away? I would have been a real life first lieutenant, or a real life first lieutenant by now. I would have been. Looking back on it, am I glad I didn't join? Oh, you bet. Because I don't think I'd be able to get with the idea of taking lives for no reason. I don't think I can settle with that idea. I was in my early 20s when I first tried to join. Why did you turn me away? Who knows? Let's never forget, you never tell us what you're trying to do to drive us to death. You just ensure we go there. You don't tell us the reason why you're turning us away from great opportunities in life. You just turn us away from them. I tried to join the Marine Corps in 2011 and 12. You turned me away both times in 2 different states. One in Michigan and one in Georgia. Why? Oh, 1 time out here too in Oklahoma. This was the 3rd time out here. Turned away. Gave up after that one. 3rd time was the try. But why? I have a few guesses as to why you turned me away. Whatever you feel like I was going to become in this here future of mine's, ain't it. I'm not no chosen one. You just want to ensure somebody's life that you feel like is going to be threatening to you somehow can't be livable, can't be livable, can't be lived. That's all you wanted from me. You just wanted to ensure my life was not going to be able to be enjoyed. You turned me away from at the time because there was no war. I'm glad I didn't join now. I don't even want to join anymore. There's no point. You turned me away at a time of peace where I could have made today much better if I would have joined back then. So in other words, you just wanted to stop me from doing something good with my life. Because through the military or through the Marine Corps, if I would have had a chance to join it, with my mind that I had at the time to join, today would have been a lot better for me. Would I have maybe taken some lives? Probably. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't join now. I'm glad I didn't join. But then at the same time, it's like, why did you turn me away? I didn't even know I was getting into back then. I know now what I would have been getting into, but back then I didn't. You turned me away 3 times. And then 1 time the Army turned me away. I was just trying to join the military. All turned me away. Before the trouble and after. 2 times before and 2 times after. Just kept trying. Kept turning me away. Never trying again though. I got my own military now. Made it up. partly out of spite. Revenge, so to speak. Put my army up against yours. You turn me away, so I'm just going to make up my own and go against you. Just because. Why did you turn me away? You want to know why you turned me away? Because you're against me living a good life. You're against me living a good life, so I'm going to be against you living a bad one. This is how I get my revenge. By obligating all of you to do better for all the days of your lives. Oh, when I really get going with this, it ain't going to be pretty at all. I guarantee you that. It ain't going to be much you can even tolerate. It's just going to be the idea entrenched, period. We'll see when we get there though, yeah? I'm talking a big game, but you ain't doing too much. You're just sitting in this car. What have you done lately? How much have you gotten in the physical? More in the physical, more in the physical. Don't just keep posting videos online. Get out there and talk to some people, right? Oh, I'm gonna. As soon as I get my story all the way sharp straight, which it is, and then as I go, it'll get better. Just need to get out there and take the first step, right? As Martin Luther King said, just get out there and take the first step. Be encouraged. So, what is my spiritual armed force, soul force going to consist of now? Since the Air Force was the destruction or the reawakening. And then the Army was the reincarnation or the reverse back to normal. Meaning reversing the 9 foul principalities to the 9 foul principalities in which they are, and just leaving the truth there, the foundation of which we are. Random thought. Ifa Tunde. That means the oracle has returned. The oracle has returned. Oracle. Look up what the word oracle means. Ifa Tunde. That's the word that Brother Umar Johnson gives himself, yeah? May you fix the damages in which were wrought unto your school as soon as possible. Moving forward. So, then the Marine Corps was going to be the resurrection portion. You follow me? And then the leadership was going to be the establishment portion. It's going to all switch up. Meaning like the Army is essentially going to play a reawakening slot now. There's 6 of them, right? And I want to start from the oldest to the youngest. So that means I want to run a parable, or I want to structure a parable around this here military force for my soul force, involving the Army first, explaining it, the Army's ranks and things of that nature, explaining it. Why do I keep targeting the leadership? Simple. Because my soul, our soul, should be your leader. Our soul should be the only leader. And everything in this world, in which is a leader of some sort, my soul king entrenchment, or my soul parables, or my soul liberty conviction, will be targeting you until you start driving everyone on the planet the right direction, the soul's direction, soul direction. Just manipulating a situation. So, I'm going to structure it using the Army first, like I said, then the Navy, then the Marine Corps, then the Coast Guard, Air Force, and Space Force. That's how I'm going to structure the parable off of those 6. And I'm going to have a soul, and instead of being, and they're going to also be, they're going to be the spiritual army as well. Like I said, this is a brainstorming video. Just thinking of ideas of what to do next here. I'm going to use all 6 military branches, all of their ranks. It's essentially going to be a, let me see, because the Coast Guard only has 4 warrant officers. 3. It doesn't have a warrant officer 1 nor a warrant officer 5. But the other ones have 5 warrant officers. I believe the Space Force had 1. A 1 and a 5. I'm going to check it again. But my ideas are going to have these ranks. You follow what I'm saying? My ideas are going to be these leadership ranks. They are. And the more that I think about it, the more that I realize that the angels themselves in the spirit, the way I see angels viewed, so to speak, the way I see them viewed, the angels in the spirit are going to play as soldiers. You want to know why? Because there are 10,000 times 10,000 and thousands of thousands of angels. Revelations 5:11. Whatever that number equates to. So that must mean they're infinite. And since an angel is a spiritual being, that means we have an infinite amount of spiritual beings. And what is the spirit? Or what is a spiritual being? First of all, what does the word spiritual mean? Spiritual, what's relating to or affecting the human spirit or soul. So, what's relating to or affecting, meaning influencing your human spirit or soul. So that means angels are things, whatever that thing is, that's relating to or influencing your human spirit or soul in the form of a being. But we don't see it anywhere because they're infinite and non-physical and apparable, letting you or labeling and ascribing to you the powers of your spiritual characteristics thereof, what's relating to or influencing the human spirit or soul. What spirit? The non-physical part of a person, which is the seat of emotions and character, the soul. The non-physical part being the electromagnetic force of the universe. One of the four fundamental forces of nature is the non-physical part of you. And that non-physical part of you, the electromagnetic force, is the seat of your emotions and character, the soul. Your emotions and character are the soul. Your emotion and character are the soul. And the emotion and character, the soul, sits in the spirit, meaning the conscious mind that sits inside of this physical spiritual body. You follow what I'm saying? And the angels, in which will be of your army, serve you. Just like the armies in real life serve their cause of taking lives for no reason as their master. Guess what? The angels see you as a master. Regardless of what the stories say in regards to Iblis, the angels are our soldiers, as in the army would put them, or the angels are our seamen, as they would put it as they would label and describe them in the Navy, or the angels are our spiritual Marines, as the Marines would call themselves. The angels are also our spiritual coast guardians or spiritual coast guards. I believe that's how you titled it. That's the fourth one. Then the fifth one, I want to use them all real quick, just because. Guardians, Space Force, they call guard. Let me just say this real quick. In the Army, they're called soldiers. In the Navy, they're called seamen. In the Marines, they're just called Marines. In the Air Force, they're called airmen, spiritual airmen then. Fifth one, Coast Guards, Coast Guardets. It's Coast Guardians. They're literally called by their Army titles or military branch titles sometimes. And then you have the Space Force they call Guardians. They're just simply called Guardians in the Space Force. Well, guess what? Now you got spiritual guardians in the Soul King's military Space Force, or the spiritual Space Force, or the Soul Space Force. Soul Space Force, Soul Navy, Soul Army, Soul Marine Corps, Soul Coast Guard, Soul Air Force, if I didn't say that already. The words have to be said out loud, and I just have to say them out loud at least once. I have to say all of it out loud at least once, at least. You follow me? Doesn't matter the order I put them in, doesn't matter how long it takes me to remember what to say. Just say it out loud, and that's it. And you're done. Video's going on too long now, but I just wanted to brainstorm this idea. Shalom, shalom, shalom. What I am working on now currently is a spiritually armed soul forces in which I am going to use to be taking around the world along with the other spiritual dual parables and the spiritual Olympics as well, like the spiritual boxing, spiritual wrestling, and the I want to come up with something else too. Spiritual football, I got that. I want to think of something else as well. But right now I'm going to focus on the spiritual army, or the spiritual military force, or the spiritually armed soul forces, which is what this video is. Therefore, peace, love, unity, and advancement to you all, my family. The more you learn, the more you rise.